Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Black Empath, one half of Black Ronins. And as you can see by the title, this is 10 ways to find out whether or not you're empathic. Okay. So, number one, do you feel drained when you're after you hang out with large crowds and things like that? Because empaths, we absorb a lot of emotions from other people. So, like licensed psychotherapist Lisa Hutchinson, LMHC, says if you're talking to someone who's depressed, or you might start to notice that you become depressed. If you start speaking to somebody who's highly anxious, you'll probably feel the same way. Um, I've actually been subject to this quite a bit, and I didn't even know that it was me absorbing all of those emotions from other people. I just thought it was me. Thought something was going on with me. Um, Come to find out, it really wasn't me. It was other people that I was talking to. I felt the emotions they were feeling. Um, so number two, do you correctly guess what others are thinking? Mm, yeah, we're highly intuitive. Um, I remember there was this one time, one of my ex-girlfriends, we were just communicating back and forth, laughing and joking about stuff, and she asked me what should she have for lunch because she'll be at work, and I would say something, and she was like, "Ooh, I was just looking at that today." Um, like really in sync with each other, you know. Even well after we broke up, we were pretty much in sync. Um, you're in a relationship with somebody, and you mention something, and they're like, "Oh, I was just thinking about that." Hmm. Seems pretty weird. Might chalk it up to coincidence, but it's not a coincidence if it happens more than once or thrice, four times or more. So, um, yeah, that's another sign that you might be empathic. Number three, okay, are you overwhelmed in public places? Yeah. Um, Public places, public spaces. Um, it's almost like a sensory overload thing. Um, your focus is like everywhere. You're absorbing so much information. Um, because like empaths focus is outwardly. It's not inwardly. It has something to do with the fact that we are not selfish people. Um, so we're always looking outward in our surroundings. Um, and yeah, we get overwhelmed with a lot of things that happen, like loud noises, a lot of traffic, beeping horns, somebody yelling. If you live in a city, it's pretty bad. Um, Number four, have you always been highly emotional? Now this can be different, okay, for a lot of people. Um, like number one, people who are criers. People who cry at the drop of a hat. I've actually met people that cry like that. I don't necessarily cry at the drop of a hat, um, but I do consider myself an emotional person. So what I did was I had to explore my emotions and I had to allow myself to feel them so that they wouldn't control me. And it's a long journey. I'm not saying that it's over, but I've definitely come very far because I'm actually a little more in control of my emotions than I was before. Like certain things, like the fear of rejection, crippling, crippling, and to get it from people that I know and love, it was devastating. It would be borderline depression, you know. I did everything not to show that that I felt that way, right? Um, all right, where was I? Okay, number 5. Have you always wanted to help other people, right? Far back as I can remember, I've always been the helpful person. I remember my mother had shingles before, and I was in elementary school. It was after I had the chicken pox, and I would literally run home from school. So this was the 80s, so the school was right around the corner, and I walked by myself. So, um, you know, so I walked home. I would run home actually, which is something I didn't do when she wasn't sick. But whenever she was sick, I would run home, come in the house, throw everything down. I would run into the room, and I would see about her every day, every single day. Um, and I've always wanted to help people. And as far back as I can remember, I wanted to be a dad. So, and I'm pretty much a natural teacher. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm repeating what other people have told me before. Um, and I've worked in schools before, and I've had students come to me and their eyes light up like, Mister, hey, you helped me out. That was awesome. I went home, I talked to my mom about it. Everything was cool. And they get excited about the information that I give them, or I'm able to get them to understand something that they never understood before. Um, because there's something like, if you pay attention enough, you can see what children need, and if you see what they need, you can give them what they need, and you see them grow a little bit, and that's it's beautiful. It's awesome. Okay. Um, let's see. Number 6. Are you turned off by corporate jobs? Quite. Like, we can do those jobs, but they're so detached from humanity, humanism, um, and like love and compassion and things like that. Those jobs are like dog eat dog, and empaths have a particular disdain for those types of jobs because they're so detached from life and from humans, and it's all about money, 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 money. Um, so yeah, we have an issue with those kinds of jobs um, because they go against our nature because we're givers, and corporate jobs are like take, 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 take. Um, let me see what's that. What else? Number 7. Are you highly creative? Hmm. Highly creative. Do you have ideas? Like for me personally, I draw, and I'm teaching myself how to paint. I guess I could show some things on another video. Um, and I'm learning how to. I'm learning how to paint. I'm doing it like freehand. I'm not trying. I don't want to draw on the canvas and then paint it. Um, I'm kind of like color outside the lines type of person. But any kind of talent you've ever had, or even being organized or OCD about things, um, creating little things around the house. Are you crafty? Are you artsy? Anything that's creative, music, um, because empaths are creators. We create, even if you're an architect, mathematician. Um, yeah, that's also a sign that you might be empathic. Number 8. Can you handle being around toxic people? No. Toxic people drain empathic people quite a bit. So We know what it does. We know what to do um, to help heal toxic people. However, just to be around a toxic person, like a relationship or even a family member, it's completely draining. I've had to distance myself from people who are toxic because, and these are people that I love because it was harmful to me. Like I would literally feel sick. My chest would feel heavy. You know, even like difficulty breathing sometimes. Like I don't understand how people can walk through life so unhappy, which is ironic because I'm unhappy sometimes. But and that's only because of my position in life right now. Um, but I don't take it out on other people. I'll explain to people how I'm feeling so that they don't feel as though I'm um, angry or upset with them. And it seems to work pretty well. But you have to be in tune with your emotions to communicate something like that. Let's see. Number 9. Do you get confused about whether or not you're feeling your own emotions or other people's emotions? We talked about that earlier up in the list. Um, yeah. Once I figured out that I was actually feeling other people's emotions, I learned how to distinguish my emotions from others. So you walk into a crowded room, or you walk into it, or you just come home, and your mood just suddenly changes for like no reason at all. Number one, ask yourself this: do I have a reason to feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Ask yourself questions, um, because technically, like when you ask a human being, including yourself, a question, your brain switches on, and subconsciously it starts to look for answers to your question. And it's the opposite for a statement. You make a statement or you make a negative statement, your brain just shuts down. It's like, okay, you know, so you don't even process the information. That's why when you're dealing with difficult people, just ask them questions, um, because then they'll start to think. And oh boy, is that the funniest thing ever in life. um, but ask yourself questions. Do I feel like this? Is it someone else feeling like this? And 9 out of 10, someone else in that house feels that way. And you kind of have to ask them if they want to talk about it. One thing I notice about empaths is that a lot of times we want to rush in and fix it because we see what's wrong. Um, but a lot of people don't want your help. And it's just that plain and simple. If they don't want your help, you don't give it. Okay. Um, Giving help to people who don't want help it's intrusive and it's rude and it's hurtful because you make people feel exposed. Um, so yeah, that's that one. Number 10, last but not least. Um, do you often feel scattered or unclear? I always thought it was my ADD. It's probably a combination. And I'm wondering if most ADD people are empathic. It might make a lot of sense because we have sensory like overload. Things are not always clear to us because we're outward thinkers, because we care about others. Um, we observe a lot of things. Um, like, this is funny because my ex wife, I would always notice when she would trip. And I know that seems kind of simplistic, but it was hilarious to me. I would always notice when she would trip, and she would look back at me, and I act like I didn't see it. But I'm kind of petty, so I had to say something about it. You know, like you, the girl that get killed in scary movies. No, we had fun though. And she would notice things about me too that I did. Um, because I think she's empathic as well. Um, but yeah, so if any of these things apply to you at all whatsoever, you're probably empathic, and you need to start asking yourself questions. You need to start making clear boundaries so that you can function, because it's really hard to function with all of this emotional overload and visual and auditory overload that we walk through life with constantly. Set yourself some boundaries so that you're not so overwhelmed, and then you can focus and you can get through the day. If you're looking at my hat, I love my hat. I'm a huge fan, and if you're a fan, you know what this saying means, right? Basically, help, I'm in pain. Um, and that's what it's like, kind of, to be empathic. Um, you're kind of in pain, like, all the time when you don't know what's going on and you haven't taken steps to um, correct it and create your boundaries. Take care of yourself. Self care, super, super important. Um, I know you're wondering why I might be looking down to the side. It's because I have my camera off to the side and I'm looking at myself. I'm trying to look at the camera, but I'm new to this. Here's the camera. There's the screen. Here's the camera. There's the screen. You know. So funny stuff, right? Um, so yeah, if you like the video and you want to be updated when I have more videos uploaded, hit the bell down below and click on all notifications and put a like if you like. Put the thumbs up button on there if you like the video. Have any questions, comments, put it down in the comments below. I'll take a look at it, and I'll look a few things up, and I might make some videos about the comments that you guys have. All right, Black Empath, half of Black Ronins, signing out. Love you guys.